Hey, good
Yay.
evening, everyone. It's
Hello.
Harry from Has Spur TV again today, and so I've got Ellie again. Ellie, how you doing?
Yeah.
We
Hello,
finally
Harry.
got it to
You
work.
right?
Yeah, we
Looking
finally got it
forward
to
to the
work.
North London derby? Yeah.
Yeah. So how you? Before we got going through like the
I've
teams
been
and
all
stuff like
right.
that,
I've been
right?
doing a lot of streams for
Yeah.
my own channel, THFC Till I Die. And I was on quite a few. I was on one last night, Mari, which was
Mm.
okay. And I've been on a few. I've been on quite a few lately, but I try to pick and choose which ones I want to go on. And you're one I love, so I'm here. I'm here for the Greek boy.
Thank you. So, like, how are you feeling towards Saturday right now? Because
Right,
I'm
I'm
not gonna
really
lie and say I'm feeling
excited.
confident because I'm like always, I feel
Yeah,
sick with the away game. I feel like sick
I'm
in
really
like a bad
excited
way.
for the mind games. You know, the build up is even better than the game. The game's always pretty tense, isn't it? And you can't
Yeah,
relax. But
yeah.
the build up is immense, you know. And I'm just thinking about what Conte, I saw his press conference today, and he's already
Mm.
started winding up the Arsenal, you know. Um, and also, there's stories about them trying to get it called off because of the train strike, the rail strike, and there's all this shithousery going on even before Richarlison's hit the pitch. It makes for good entertainment, doesn't it, Harry?
Yeah, I think like because
Yeah,
there's rumors that Kulusevski might be injured, right? Have you heard?
yeah. That'd be a shame. It'd be a shame if we lose him. But then Richarlison can check. He can do a good
Mm,
job. Maybe he's not as cultured and um, as skillful, I would say, as Kulu in terms of the left peg and
mm.
the distribution. But he can offer something different, and he'll be up for it. 100% he'll be up for it.
But do you
Yeah,
think that because of this right wing back issue, right? Like I would have put Kulusevski there personally, but who are we going to play there?
yeah.
Because I don't really see Emerson playing, to be honest, on
I wouldn't
Saturday.
put Kulusevski as a wing back, a right wing back, because it
Yeah.
takes away from his overall game up top. Because that's where
Mm,
he hurts the opposition. When he's got the ball at his feet, it's very hard to get it off him. He reminds me of like Gaza and Chris Waddle, a mixture of them two, because he's robust and
mm,
he's tough. He's tougher than people think. And he
mm.
can hold people off with his arms like Ozzy Ardiles used to do.
Yeah.
I know I'm harping back to some past players, but that's
Yeah, I don't.
that's
I
my
didn't watch them
reference
play,
point.
unfortunately.
There's
Yeah.
nobody I can think of in the current, the more present team. I mean,
Mm.
that's like him, and he offers you he's like a left-footed missile, isn't it? With Kulu,
Yeah.
bang in the net.
I think like before, Kuliseki was quite underrated, but now people are noticing him a lot more. Because other fans I speak to, when I mention him now, they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's good." Before they were like, "Oh, they weren't sure," but now they proper rate Kulisevsky as well. It's not just us.
yeah. It
Yeah,
depends who you ask as well, Harry. If
yeah,
you ask older fans who have seen the likes of Glenn Hoddle,
mm,
and then later on you saw Modric and Dembele, Gaza, Ginola, even players like Berbatov up top. They were cultured players.
I
You
remember
know,
Berbatov.
so if you ask us
Yeah,
older fans,
mm,
we can compare him to the likes of those players, and he comes
mm,
out favourably because he has got all the attributes. And another thing he's got is good vision. He's very good at seeing what's on and picking out that final pass
his
that's on
delivery's
point.
pinpoint. His delivery's a
It
pinpoint.
is.
Yeah,
It's just as good as Perisic is, but I
yeah,
think Perisic, what he's got over Kulu is the experience.
yeah, yeah.
You can't buy that. You've got to live through
No.
it. So I'm hoping to see many, many years of Kulu banging them in. Yeah. Starting, if he's fit, starting on Saturday.
Yeah. But like in general, how are you feeling towards it? Because like you mentioned about the excitement and stuff. I always feel
Yeah.
in the home game, I'm more excited, mainly because I go, of course, as
Yeah, of
well. In the
course.
away
Because
game, I
it's on
feel
our
like
own patch.
I don't know if you feel the same way, right? When you go to a match, I feel like I can affect the game. I know it sounds silly, but like
Yeah,
when I'm
because
watching it from home, I feel like I can shout as much as I want, which I will, but it won't
yeah,
have any effect on the game. If that makes
No,
sense.
it doesn't, but it has an effect in your heart, doesn't it? Because
Yeah,
you're a fan. It
yeah.
doesn't matter whether you're at the stadium or at home or in the pub. You're still a Spurs fan. You're still passionate. It's just maybe you can rip more when you're at home, I would say, because you can swear, you can throw things. But in the ground, you've got to keep your decorum
Oh, no,
because
I
you've got
can't
other
throw things in
people.
the ground,
They might have
obviously,
their
but
kids with them.
yeah.
You can't
Oh,
be effing
you
and
say that.
blinding round kids.
You say
Me
that, but I swear.
personally, I don't.
Oh, really?
I've got some
Oh,
respect,
oh. I
but at
guess the people.
home, all holds barred.
Because when I'm at
The
when I'm
Greek
at
in us
football, I
comes out, doesn't it,
honestly I
Harry?
swear a lot. To be honest, at football, like I'm very calm now. You see me, I'm very calm. And but whenever I've taken someone who hasn't been to football with me before, and they're like, oh, he's chilled guy, and then they see that completely different side of me.
Yeah,
I'm like shouting
I
at the
know.
ref, jumping up, calling like
I know.
Xhaka. Last year I gave
Because
Xhaka so much stick.
I know what you mean. It's
Yeah,
like I become a different person when Spurs are
yeah,
playing
yeah,
Arsenal. I come like a psychopath.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll break things if we lose.
Like under Pochettino in his first year, I remember, when we beat Villa 2-1 and Kane scored that goal.
Yeah.
When we went 1-0 down, I threw my phone onto the floor. This is my new phone, not my old phone. And it cracked because I was that pissed off when we conceded. I was like, it
I've
didn't
smashed
help.
so many things watching football. It's unbelievable. I've probably smashed about £10,000 worth of stuff easily. By accident, some of the stuff, when you throw something and it rebounds onto something. Do you know what? I'll tell you a funny story, right?
Yeah.
Spurs were playing Notts County in the FA Cup a long time ago when Gazza was playing, and Notts County scored. And then my dad was watching, and my husband's a QPR fan, and he started to laugh. And my dad, he's a very passionate Spurs fan. He picked up a grapefruit and slung it at my husband.
What?
He said, "How dare you laugh at my team?" Do you see
A
what?
grapefruit?
It brings out passion that's unexplainable.
I mean, it doesn't help because, like, if we lose, I'll probably have to switch off my phone for like a day because most of my close friends are Arsenal because of the area, right?
Oh,
I'm in
right. You'll have
Southgate.
to drop them.
So, but like, I've got into very heated arguments with my friends who are Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking like when we've had a bit to drink, it gets like really heated. Like in the past,
Yeah.
people's houses, I'm just like slating. Like, remember Ozil was at Arsenal? I used to slate him all the time. And I got into like a half-hour argument with someone, hour argument with someone. We're both like drinking. It's getting on and on and on. And there's this guy I went to school with, very like he's an Arsenal fan. He's been on like AFTV and he's like been like he goes to every game pretty much. But he's like hardcore, like really like you can't have any sort of like debate with him really. So whenever I see him, everyone just sits there and just gets popcorn out because me and him would just shout at each other for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's not getting the idea through to his head.
They've got a psyche over us, but we can't give it into it because they'll always bring up trophies because they've won more trophies than us. They have. They've been more successful. But the thing is, what we got to do, we got to just stand our ground and defend our club as well as we can, because we can't defend ourselves on trophies because we have only won one in 15 years. And before that, when Levy took over, for 22 years, we've only won one cup. But the last time we won one was 2008, which is coming up to, it's 14 years. It'll be coming up to 15 years at the end of this season, 2023. So it's nothing to brag about. And it's such a shame when you think how glorious our club was before. We won 8 trophies in the 60s, including the Charity Shields.
Also, under Sugar, didn't we win more trophies than under Levy, I think?
We did. I think we won 2. We won 1999.
I was at that game.
Yeah. That was with George Graham. He was our manager, and Sol Campbell was still our player then, because he left in 2000, I think. Or
I actually met Sol Campbell before he left, by the way.
I think he left 2001 season, didn't he? Yeah, he just jumped ship, a little Judas.
I actually met him because
Judas.
His agent was Sky Andrews. I don't know if you know who Sky Andrews is.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
So he's one of my easy way to phrase this, family friends, let's say. he's a football agent, and he used to be really good friends with him. So when
Right.
they got this is talking like years ago.
The
Once we
thing
walked
is,
towards the stadium, and
look,
he was there.
he
Sol
left.
Campbell was there,
Yeah.
and I met
But
him when I
he
was a
left
kid.
because he wanted to win trophies and he didn't see the ambition at our club,
You can't
which is
blame
the
him,
same old
really.
story. It's
You
been
can't
like
blame
that
him,
since
really,
Levy
can
took
you?
over.
Mm.
But there's good and bad in everything, right? So he's made us a sustainable club and he's made us make profit because we had the highest profit in the whole of the Premier League, I believe, if I'm right, according to Shawnee as well. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I don't mind making profit if we've got trophies with it, you know, because my benchmark is trophies. My benchmark is not making
Profit.
us sustainable, yes, with the ground, building the ground and everything. But I want to win trophies. I'm a trophy whore. I want to win them. I don't want to go into my work if I was still working in an office and there was all Arsenal fans there and they're taking the mickey out of me because we haven't
That's
won
where I
anything
work,
still.
because I work in Islington. So
Yeah, so you've got all Arsenal fans surrounding
literally,
you.
like the other day, you know, when they were playing Europa League back like a couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
and I think so. I got on the train at like 5 o'clock or something. Anyway, and then I got to King's Cross, and suddenly all these Arsenal fans just got on the train. I was like, "Fuck's sake!"
I know.
I was like,
You
"Why
suddenly
now?"
feel sick.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like trying not to say something.
I know.
And I'm like, "You like?" I'm thinking in my head,
But
I'm
the
like, "You
thing is,
like
they
idiots."
always got one over us, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I always say, look, we've had great players. We should have won more,
We
but
should have.
we
We should
just
have.
didn't get over the line, you know, because we got to the Champions League final and then it sort of plummeted from there because we didn't invest for Poch.
But
But
also for
let's
me,
get
we're
back to the
always.
London derby because I'm, you know, when you talk about old things and things that
Mm.
worry you at Spurs, it doesn't fill you with a lot of
No.
confidence. So I like to look at the positives.
No.
The positives is that we've got brilliant players up the top. And if we play Basuma as well in that middle, it's going to give us a more solid base
Do you
to
think
go
he'll
and
play
attack
him?
them.
Do you think he'll play him?
I think he will. I think he saw enough in that. Well, it was about half an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You brought him on for half. I think he saw enough because he's been working on Basuma. This isn't pot luck that Basuma came on and affected the game like that. That was clear instructions from Conte and his coaching team. You know, because Conte is a very meticulous manager. He plans everything. But weeks before we're going to play, he knows all the strategy of the other team and how they play and how to nullify them and work on our strengths. The only problem with us is our passing is not on point. It's only really Harry Kane when he's on form, but sometimes his passing can be suspect as well. And I think Longlay's got it in him. And Bentancur and Højbjerg to some extent. You know, sometimes they give the ball away, but that's just football for you. But what I like to see is better transition of play. You know,
but do you think
Richarlison will run forever? He'll kill himself that ball for us.
Do you think that the problem is for me, as in when I watch us, is that we bypass the midfield a lot?
Yeah, we do. But when they do pick it up, right? Højbjerg and Bentancur know each other's games inside out. They've only been together for quite a short while, but they've worked on it on training. And when I see them warming up before the game, I notice that they do a lot of interplay changes. You know, like pass quick move. That's how they do it in the midfield. They're really good at transitioning the pace, so we should use them more. But what sometimes we do, we use the wing backs too much and are not as good at transitioning.
I mean, Emerson.
The only one who can transition the ball as well is Perisic, but he runs out of puff as well because he's got older, you know, and
I think Sessegnon doesn't do enough as well. Sessegnon doesn't do enough. So.
No, Sessegnon, he's a hot. I call him the hot and cold player. You know, because sometimes he can be really hot, but most times he's cold.
I was going to say, most of the time
he's not confident.
No.
He doesn't take on his player, Harry. You know, he goes there, and then you want him really to go past that player, have the confidence to do it, and then he tracks back, and then he'll pass it in field.
I've lost count how many times I've shouted at him to do that during a match, because sometimes they attack on that side towards the north
stand. Do you know what? It's all Spurs fans who think this, because I was at the top in the last game against Leicester, and I thought, no, I don't want to be up in the heavens. So I went the second half. I sneaked into the second bit, into the ground on the bottom, and I was in 2-5-2. I was in. But normally I'm in 2-5-6, but you get such a good view of what Sessy's doing from there. Up the top, you do, but it's not as good. So I was thinking, you could feel the tension in the crowd when he gets the ball as well. Because I think we're waiting for him to do something, but he just doesn't deliver.
We're waiting for him to do something, and he doesn't do it. That's what it is.
And he doesn't do it. Yeah. It's like, it's like a big sigh, and you can see the fans' faces. Their jaws drop. It's like they age 50 years. Watching it. I go in looking 21, and I come out looking 81.
I think, honestly, I think Spurs stress me more than anything else, to be honest. I think it's just not normal supporting Tottenham. Going into the game on Saturday, right? As in, obviously you go with a 3-5-2, because I'd go with a 3-5-2, but that means leaving out Richarlison. And can you see him?
Yeah,
leaving him out, but then it's hard, because he's doing really well for Brazil.
Do you know what? If Kulu's not fit, he should play Richarlison in a roving role, so that he can go from left to middle to right and link up play with Sonny as well, because he's got the fitness. I don't think he can play right wing back. No, he's good at tracking.
Oh no, not right wing back. Not right.
It's a more specialist role, the right wing back. Maybe he'll play Doherty.
I hope so, because I don't want to see Emerson.
Because Doherty played twice for Ireland, but the Irish Hotspur and all the Irish fans I know,
they weren't happy.
They said he played shit.
Didn't Troy Parrott? I think they said he played rubbish as well, right? Troy Parrott played as well, didn't he?
Troy Parrott, and they said he played pretty poorly as well. Right. He had a few good chances, but he wasted.
With Doherty, he hasn't played much, so I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah,
really.
But he's had 2 full games for Ireland.
Has he? Oh,
so, right. Conte, he might be looking at that, because I think he's finally come round to think that Emerson's not going to be his boy. I think he loves him as a man. Yeah, but he's finally I don't think he's finally realised. I think he's just thinking, nah, I'm not going to go there anymore.
He's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, you could be.
But who would you play there then? Because if Doherty's not going to play, I don't think Spencer's going to play, because he's never going to play
Spencer. A chance.
And if Kulusevski's not fit, and if Emerson's not going to play, Doherty's not going to play, who are you going to play at right wing back? I don't know.
Well, it'll be Doherty if he plays, but if not, I think they'll probably put Richarlison there.
Right wing back.
They haven't got no choice. The only other one they can do is Romero, but why would you play Romero as right wing back?
Could you not play Dyer there? That sounds weird.
Or Sanchez.
Tanganga or Sanchez.
Sanchez. You know what, Sanchez?
The only good thing about playing Sanchez there, I think, is that because he has
well
less
in the last game than Derby.
He has less room to make mistakes. His mistakes will be less.
Yeah, but when he goes to the Emirates, he plays really poorly, worse than he normally does. So,
but I think that's the same with most of the Spurs players.
They just don't turn up.
Most of the Spurs
forget they're footballers.
But the last time we won there was in the League Cup. Do you remember?
Yeah, when we won 2-0 when Sonny and Elly scored.
Yeah, but in the league was in 2010, I think, was it?
Yeah, it was 2011, was it?
When Cabal got that header,
2011 season. Yeah, because Cabal scored.
Yeah, the winner.
He was only young then. I remember it very well because I was crazy.
I remember very well.
That was when Harry Redknapp was in charge as well.
But to me, doesn't that show you that maybe
Harry Redknapp was in charge, wasn't he?
But I had this discussion with someone else. Doesn't it show you that playing a more, I'm not saying very open game, but the fact that game, right, we started 4-5-1 or 4-4-1-1, however you want to call it. Yeah. Half time, he changed to a 4-4-2. He put Van der Vaart on the right. And he put in Defoe. like we played a more open game, and we were not like blocking. Like it wasn't fixed to play against their formation. Do you think we need to play a more like open game?
I think Conte, he knows our team's limitations. He knows our strengths. Our strength is the forward line, right? Romero's a strength. Longley will be a strength because he's already shown, right? And then you've got two solid midfielders that are not flashy, but Bentancur, he can do a bit of flashiness now and then. And Højbjerg won't let you down. He'll always fight for the team. So you've got a really good structure there. So he knows where our weaknesses are is when we play Davis and Dyer and Sanchez. With Romero, we're more solid. So, and he knows he can call on Richarlison if Kulu makes it, because I think he will start with a 3-4-3 on
You don't think
Saturday.
he'll
I
start
want
with
him to start with
3-5-2?
a 3-5-2, but I think he won't. I think he won't rock the cart unless it's going drastically wrong.
But I don't know. Don't you think we'll get outnumbered in midfield if we played a 3-4-3?
That's what I'm saying. It's a shame because then it makes Højbjerg and Bentancur look crap, and they're not crap. We've seen they're not crap.
Yeah.
I mean, they've both scored. They've contributed 3 goals together, and they've assisted. So, I don't know. I think he might rock the cart, but I can't see it because Conte's quite stubborn when it comes to formation because he knows he's tried and tested the 3-4-3, so he's comfortable with it. He just has to tweak little snippets of the way we play it. We've got to be more quick fire on our passes and more interaction, more transition of play. Get the ball to Kane, Sonny run behind in the little pockets, find space. And I'm just praying that Kulu makes it, actually. So I think with Kulu, we've got a much, much better chance of winning.
He's the most creative player. I know he's more creative than Kane, in my opinion.
Yeah. And he actually has got better feet than Kane, because Kane's good when he's got his back to the goal and then he spins and then he finds Sonny. Right, Kulu can do anything. Back to the goal, front to the goal, anything. You slip him in, he'll run forever. And he, like I said, his passing is the best in the team. I would only put Perisic up there because of his crossing.
I think Perisic has to start.
Perisic's normal passes go astray.
He has to start Perisic though. He won't start.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got to play with the experience.
We have 3 away games on the trot, though.
To win these matches.
We also have 3 away games on the trot because we've got Arsenal, Frankfurt, and then Brighton. Yeah.
Yeah. Who bloody gave us that one? It's probably that David Dean, isn't it, of Arsenal?
Oh, good David Dean. Didn't he used to be the chairman? Was he not the chair? Was he the chairman, or he worked with Wenger? I can't. What position was he at Arsenal though? Dean.
David Dean is the one, and I think there's bloke
was he a director?
Hillwood.
Yeah.
There's one. I don't know if he's on the FA or Football League board. He probably is.
But at Arsenal, what position did he have? I don't remember. David Dean, was he a chairman or was he?
David Dean was their chairman, yeah.
Because apparently a lot of Arsenal fans cite Wenger's demise partly because David Dean left. And David Dean had a very good relationship with Wenger.
Yeah, because... Yeah. Right, when David Dean was there, they were winning tons, because he held the club strong, and he gave Arsene Wenger free rein to bring in all these doctrines from Monaco, because not many people heard of Arsene Wenger before he hit the shores of England, but a lot of people in the know did.
He was manager of the Japanese team, right, or something? I watched
he went to Grand Passate, wasn't it, in Japan?
Yeah, that's it.
And then I think he came to Arsenal, or it might have been the other way round.
No, he came from the Japanese team, I read.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary about it.
So. What a fantastic manager he was for them. He changed the whole culture of not just Arsenal, of British football as we know it now. You know, it was him that started all this no ketchup, no mayonnaise, no
And then
sandwiches.
Conte, it's like no ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ian Wright documentary where Ian Wright's talking about the food thing and he just didn't want to stick to it? So he went round Bergkamp's house and had a chat with Bergkamp, and Bergkamp said, "You have to,
He's like,
because
yeah.
it works and we're going to win a lot if we do it." And they
But
did.
But don't you find it interesting with the whole ketchup thing? I know it sounds really stupid, but do you remember we had Ramos and he came in, and
Yeah.
obviously before that the manager was Martin Joel, wasn't he? And he was more old school, I guess.
Yeah.
But Ramos came in and banned ketchup, banned all these foods, had them like a strict diet,
Yeah.
and the players didn't respond well. That group of players, like Genus,
Yeah, but we won a League Cup
Defoe,
under him.
we did. I know, but I'm saying they didn't respond well to it. I was reading, I think Genius said something about this once. But what do you think's the difference now between someone like Conte coming in and saying it to these group of players compared to back then? You had someone like Ramos saying it to that group of players.
I think it's because Conte commands respect. Because he's won everything in the game apart from a European trophy. Where he put that right this season when we win the Champions League. Come on, Spurs. Right? So I genuinely think we've got a really good chance, you know. We just got to beat Eintracht Frankfurt at home. And then I think another game and we'll be safe to get first or second. But most people are saying that Conte wants the league. League is his bread and butter.
It's his bread and butter.
You know,
yeah,
and we're poised. We're the same points as Man City. We haven't got Haaland, and we've got the same points. They've got a better goal difference than us, right? Because they've scored more and let in. I think they've let in one less, if I'm right. Either way, we've got the best manager. He's the best mentalist. He's the best at setting up a team, knowing his players and what they can and can't do. And he gets inside their head, right? Because Antonio Conte, he's not just a clever manager on the pitch, he's off the pitch. That's where he does all his hard work. And when the match starts, you see how animated he's the best manager at getting those players who he thinks are not doing what he told them to do at the beginning.
Shouts at them and then
and then when he's got this, you see the improvement we've made in the second half of most matches. There's an improvement because he'll see the flaws and he'll talk to players individually. He won't shout at them. He makes sure that they all know their job. Yeah, he's so good at it. I love him.
But like, because where I sit, I see like Conte's like, and I'm quite high up though, but I can see Conte like very like vividly on the touchline, screaming at them and like when he's pissed off. Like it's so obvious. He's just like pointing at them like this. Like when Reguilon started in like Conte's first game.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed about Conte was he was screaming at Reguilon to go right to the touchline because Reguilon kept coming in.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was playing left back, and he kept screaming at him, "Go on the touchline, go on the touchline." And obviously he does the same to Sessegnon, I noticed as well. With Perisic, he doesn't say anything to him because Perisic knows what he's got to do.
Because he trusts Perisic more than Reguilon. You know, I'm not saying Reguilon's a bad player because he's done some good games for us as well.
I actually like Reguilon.
I liked him because he was exciting to watch. You know, it's very fast.
I preferred him to Sessegnon. I've got to be honest. I rate him more than Sessegnon, but
I rated him as well. But you know what it is, right? Spurs fans are quite fickle, right? They just remember the bad things he did. They don't remember all the good things. And also, because he missed quite a few chances when he was in the position to score. If he'd put those away, it would have been a different story. Same with Steven Bergwijn. He was the same. Exciting to watch.
Do you remember when he hit the post at Anfield?
For most of his career at Spurs. He started off brilliant with that fantastic goal against Man City. And then everything was like a plateau from there on. He never went up the high. He never went down the low. Do you remember
his when he hit the post at Anfield?
Yeah, against Liverpool. He was vilified.
I was on the floor when that happened, I remember, because I couldn't believe he missed it. But I say that I missed the same chance like yesterday when I played football. Exactly the same chance.
Yeah.
I tried to hit it. I hit like too accurately.
It's always
too accurately, and it smacked the post. I was like so frustrated. It's like it was right on the post.
It's the best feeling when the ball goes in the net, but when it hits the post or there's a block on the line, or you know, you just scuff it or whatever. You
But it
miss
doesn't
it.
make any sense.
It's the
'Cause
worst feeling.
later on in the game, I hit a worse shot and it went in like in the same corner. And like before, I hit it like so accurately. Like I was aiming for the corner
Yeah.
so accurately, it smacked the post. I was like, oh my god. But it reminded me a lot. Now you bring up the Bergwijn thing. It reminded me a lot of that. Now I'm thinking about the Bergwijn chance. Yeah.
There was one match Bergwijn played, not the Leicester game. There was one. It was against Wolves at home when it was Aston Villa. Sorry, he'd done this fantastic step over like Gareth Bale did, but he was even better than Gareth Bale's one because it was done with like a split second, and he went whoop whoop whoop, and then he was off. Because he's got pace. If only he knew how to control that pace to get him even better chance to score the goal. Because those players who've got so much pace, they have to be an exceptional player to be able to control the pace and actually affect the game up top. You know, because there's loads of players who've got pace, but they just haven't got the mental bonds.
Yeah,
as a
I just don't
footballer.
think Bergwijn was good enough. He wasn't a bad player, but I just don't think
He wasn't a bad
was
player. No,
but I just don't think it was the
nobody
level.
can say at Spurs that he was a bad player.
It's just he wasn't the level that we needed. I think that's what it was, really. I think.
Yeah, it's the finishing.
Yeah,
it's the finishing.
Yeah.
But now
like
he's banging them in a. They say a Leicester league. He's banging them in.
If you compare him to Richarlison, there's a massive difference for me, at least.
Yeah, but the thing is, Richarlison offers you more than Bergwijn for his overall play.
It's better, yeah.
He's the best presser I've ever seen. He's brilliant at pressing. He's like a dog with a bone.
I was having an argument with someone about Richarlison today, actually, because you know the World Cup's coming up, right? And Brazil tipped to like win it. I actually think Richarlison's going to be top scorer in the World Cup. That's my bet. I might go put a bet on that.
I'll put £100 on that. I would.
Because I think Brazil are going to win it. I really do. So yeah. So I think Richarlison's probably going to be the top scorer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Cup as well because it'll give us a break from Spurs. You know, you can relax a bit. You know,
for like a month.
Yeah, as long as we're in a good position when we go into that, because I think it starts in the first week of November, I believe.
Yeah? I think our last game is the 20. Is it 22nd?
Yeah, second. Yeah. I know it's in my birthday month. I know it starts in my birthday month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I like seeing what new players are on the block as well. Because you can watch them on YouTube, but when you watch them live and you watch the full 90 minutes. Yeah, and if it goes to extra time, things like that, it's just better because you can get a more feel for that player. If you watch them on YouTube, what you mean. Even Emerson can look good.
Yeah. Emerson's not going to be going to the World Cup, thankfully, I don't think. But
yeah, I don't think he's been picked. He's not been picked, has he?
He doesn't get picked. He doesn't get picked for Brazil.
No. But like Jesus wants to get into that squad, so he'll be up for it on Saturday. I was talking to Dermot, my general in chief, right, on my channel THFC Till I Die, right, and he was saying that he's quite scared of Jesus because he's got a point to prove to get on that bus to go to Qatar. You know, so he'll be really out to impress. So we've got to make sure we keep a sharp eye on him because he's one of these players. He reminds me of Robbie Keane, right?
Really? Oh.
But he doesn't score as much. What I mean by that is his mobility and his insight to get into really good positions to score. But he doesn't finish like Robbie Keane does. But I think he's got it in him. Once he has 1 or 2 seasons under his belt at Arsenal, he'll get more confidence. As long as his first season goes well for him, I don't wish bad for him, but I don't want him to do particularly well because I want him to finish above them. You know?
Not on Saturday.
I quite like him as a player. He's a good little player to watch. You know, he's exciting. He's moving.
I have to confess, like I was more in the Jesus camp when we were linked with all the 3 Brazilians initially. Yeah. But then when I looked at Richarlison's like attributes as a player, like his aggression, he's a bigger player, right? He's stronger, muscular. He suits Conte more. He suits Conte's system more, and because he can play across the 3. a lot easier.
Richarlison can offer you so much more.
Yeah, I like Jesus, but I don't want him to score on Saturday. I think he will, though.
Richarlison's got to
He will.
improve, though, is his first touch.
Mm.
His first touch and his layoff ball. It's not always on point. He's got to improve that. So I think when he tries too hard, I think sometimes he tries too hard and he runs out of steam. And when when you're tired, your legs tend to get heavy.
I know,
right?
yeah.
And then you can do a duff pass.
Yeah.
You see when he did the keepy uppies against Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest?
yeah.
I was watching Steve Perriman's podcast and he said, but did you see the ball that he did?
Yeah.
It was atrocious, he said. And
but he did that assist that day, didn't he? Didn't he do an assist that day with that outside of his foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wicked assist.
That was fantastic. You see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Richarlison, he can give you that. He's got the vision up top, but when he's tracking back all the time, he gets tired. That's a hard job, and I think he's trying to impress Conte so that he stays in the team. Obviously, he doesn't want to be dropped, the boy. Well, who does?
This is the first.
No footballer wants to be dropped.
But this is the first time for me where I think we have like a lot of attacking options in terms of like proper options.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your friend Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Yeah.
Hiya. Oh my God, I love Lisa. She's so nice. She lives in Mexico, you know.
All right. I always see her on your streams.
I think I'm going to move to Mexico.
But like for me, as in like I know Lucas is injured, yeah. But if you look at it, we have like 6 options there really, because you've got Perisic who can play on the left, Lucas who can play on the right, Richarlison can play in the middle, and then you got the Kulusevski, Kane, and Son. So for me, we've got enough depth up top really.
Yeah.
For the season,
just
and
that
I think
middle, we've got to shore the middle, don't we?
Yeah.
I think I'm really hoping that he plays Basuma in with them to help out Højbjerg and Bentancur, because I don't want the fans jumping on Højbjerg's back if they've battered us, because they will. They'll blame Højbjerg for everything. That's why I call myself Queen Elly Højbjerg.
Yeah,
I love him. I think he's a fantastic player for us.
I think Højbjerg, I was reading something about this. I think I spoke about this on another stream with someone. I don't know if it was with you or someone else. That Conte was like Højbjerg as a player or something. Was that you said it or someone else?
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. That's probably why he likes him a lot as well.
And also, Harry, he likes him because he carries out his instructions and he organises the team. Because with Højbjerg, you've got to watch him off the ball as well. That's where a lot of fans don't look. They just they sing he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. He's Højbjerg, right?
Yeah.
But they don't actually watch him off the ball. Off the ball, he's tremendous. The things that he does. You know, as a midfield player myself, I was an attacking midfielder, right? I wasn't a defensive midfielder because he's more defensive than attacking. But when he does come up front, right, and he joins the attack, he's really good.
He's got 2 goals
really
this
good
year
in transition
as well.
of the play. When he set up Sonny, he done that fantastic ball to Kane last season against Leeds. It was brilliant. Pinpointed. That was a Hodolesque pass. But he doesn't get credit for that. They'll only remember if he gives the ball away.
You know what it is? I think so. Like you said, number one, people remember the worst things more than the good things, I think, with a lot of players. And number two, I think, because he plays alongside Bentancur, and Bentancur gets more praise in general, I think. So
Bentancur
when Højbjerg does something...
he's more elegant.
Yeah, he's more... Yeah, it's nicer to watch.
He's taller, he's leaner.
Yeah.
His touch is class. You know, you can't... See, Højbjerg hasn't got Bentancur's touch.
No.
But what he does, he's a very thoughtful player. So what he'll do, he'll step on the ball and he'll look around to see what's on before. If nothing's on, he'll play it simple. But when he wants to pick out that pass, he can pick it out.
I think Bentancur, I think he knows who he's going to pass to before he gets the ball. That's what I think.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
that's football intelligence.
Like he knows already.
He's Højbjerg, he's more prestigious in his play. He's like. He thinks more. He's more of a thoughtful footballer. You know, he doesn't just. He's not an instinctive passer of the ball, whereas Bentancur is. Yeah, so they complement each other. Actually, I like them both together. I don't think they're going to lose their place anytime soon.
And also because obviously when they build a pairing, the chemistry is like better, right? So I think Basuma's going to find it hard and Skip to get games maybe until the cups come, because if he's going to keep persisting with the same pairing, it's going to be a lot harder for them to get in, I think.
Yeah,
But I think if we play a 3, obviously if Basuma comes in, right,
yeah,
it'll be a bit easier for Skip to even find a place, because if one of them gets a knock, he can just slot in.
yeah. I
But
agree.
I like Skip personally. I think Skip's good. But
I know he hasn't played
yeah,
Skip this season though, has
yeah,
he? So there
no.
must be a reason. Well, first of all, Højbjerg and Bentancur haven't done anything wrong. They're
Yeah.
unbeaten in
Elly,
the
did
league,
you
and we've only
see?
lost one match all season.
Someone's asking. Elly, did you see? Lisa's asking. Did you see the interview
No,
on Spurs
because
play?
I didn't see it because I have got Spurs play, but I've been so busy with doing things at home. And also for my channel, I'm on social media so much trying to promote my channel.
Yeah, I know. I
And
see you on the thing. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many things coming up that are really exciting as well. So we're like liaising with people that we've got planned to come on the show as well. And one chap, which I'll tell you at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you at the end. I'll leave it as a surprise. I think
Okay.
maybe people have heard already, but Dermot's given me the thumbs up to mention it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like for me going into Saturday, like I think we're gonna play counter-attacking, and I think it's better for us anyway. But at the same time, I don't want us to sit so deep where like we just can't get out. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I don't want to play this cat and mouse game. I want us to probably we won't dominate possession regardless,
no.
because Arsenal are a better balling team than us. But where we're better than them is I think we're better finishers, and we're better at getting the ball from the midfield. When we're transitioning on the wing, we're a lot more effective than them. They tend to pass it too many times. You think, get it in there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want them to get in there because they'll probably score if they. But they play too many passes. It's too much, you know. And they've been playing that style for 5 or 6 years. It hasn't won them anything. Hello, Chris.
Yeah.
Big up Hassan, Queen Elly.
Yeah, yeah. But so like with like for me, I think like they got Odegaard, they got was it Smith Rowe? Is that a name? Smith Rowe. They've got these sorts of players,
ballers,
right?
Man.
Where they'll
Saka.
keep the ball, right? A lot.
Yeah.
But I think I know I'm trying to relate this to something that happened to me yesterday. So I played 5-a-side yesterday. And if you look at the team on paper, right, that we had compared to like them, it's just for fun, right? But I'm just relating it because we played a certain way. And so they have more like possession-based players, right? And they had more possession than us, like guaranteed. But all we did was we just like I would just play a long through ball every time, and we'd score. So I was like, we should just play the same tactic on Saturday, because they just feel like that pass, dribble, and then we'd get one like touch, and I'd just play like a through ball. And one of my friends would just score a goal. I know it's like a smaller pitch, but it's the same sort of thing. Like Arsenal have most of the possession. They will. There's no way they won't have most of the possession because they're at home.
Yeah.
And I don't expect us to. We might go for like a spell or two, but at the Emirates we don't tend to get a lot of possession. But we just have to be, I think, very direct with the ball when we get it.
Yeah.
And I think
agree with you.
If we play a 3-5-2, actually might see us more also because Kane and Son, there's more like focus on it. The dynamics a bit different. So Kane can drop off and play like a free roll, and Son can just play
3-5-2
on the shoulder.
It's not strictly a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 is not strictly a 3-4-3, because what I've noticed that Conte instructs them to take up different positions, especially Richarlison. He moves all around. Yeah. Right, he's like on the left, the right, in the middle. I saw somebody said that we should play Richarlison as a number 10 through the middle.
He could play there. I think he could play there.
Yeah, he could. But I prefer Kane there.
Yeah.
I actually prefer Kane there because he's better at picking up the ball and spraying it. You know, when Harry Kane's on form, there's no one better than to put in a through pass. He's He's a bit like Eriksen, like, you know. He can pick out a pass really well.
But I
I
think
prefer
in
him
terms
now.
of like with playing a 3-5-2 with Kane and Son, obviously that's the pairing. Like Brian Daigle said on the stream, he's watching this like right now. Like those are the pairing he would
Yeah,
play, and I think it kind of suits Richarlison as well because if Richarlison comes on, you can bring him off at either of them and he'll slot in fine because he can play alongside Son or alongside Kane. Richarlison for me, he can play
yeah,
either in a 3-5-2. But like for me with Kane in that formation with Son, Kane can play like a free role. He can play anywhere because
yeah,
there's how many players? What there's 8 players been behind, right? So to speak,
yeah,
yeah. And Son will probably play on the shoulder of the last man and make the runs. So Son and Kane will
yeah.
essentially have like 3 roles in a
Do you
three
know
five
what? I
two.
think that's the secret potion that we've got, right? Because we've
Yeah.
got so many. The front men are so versatile
Mm.
that the opposition don't know whether to
That's what I'm
go or
saying.
come
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
stay, or we're going to pull them out with Kane, and then there'll be pockets of space free. See, and
Mm.
Arsenal get sucked into it.
Mm.
Like at our ground, we absolutely pulverised them, but they had more
Yeah.
possession. In the first
Yeah.
15 minutes, they were having the ball a lot.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got grips on the game, we sussed them out. And then it's just a matter of time before Harry Kane scores or Sonny scores because they're lethal in front of goal, sorry. So I just want to see a similar game to when we played at our ground. That'd be
That'd be lovely,
perfect.
but I just don't see it
Oh
happening.
my God. That'd be like the cream on the cake, the icing on the cake.
I think it'll be if we win, it'll be something like when we last won the Carabao Cup, where we just hit them on the break a couple times, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll have to be something like that. I think because that's the direct ball. Like Kane, I think Kane put the direct ball. Was it Delhi for the second goal? Was it Kane? And I don't know who it was for the first one for Son. Was it Kane again? Maybe it was Kane again. As in when he dropped off, he played the one ball, and Son just played and scored, and Elly just made the run and scored because Arsenal was so just open and the spaces were so yeah.
See, we can stretch them a lot.
Yeah,
we can stretch them a lot with.
I just don't
Perisic
think
and
playing someone like
Richarlison.
Emerson's a good idea because Emerson will just. I just think it's a waste of a spot on the right. I'd rather
What's
see
the actual
Doherty.
news on Kulu? Is he going to make it or not?
Well, when I saw on We Are Tottenham TV when they were saying that
he's not going to make it.
Yeah, but I don't know if any other news has come out.
They're quite in the know, the Tottenham TV boys. We Are Tottenham TV, aren't they? Ben and Sim. They know what they're talking about. So if they've said that, then they've obviously got some inside knowledge from the club.
Apparently, Spurs are interested in Jonathan David.
Okay. You know what? We've been linked to so many players.
He's that striker at Lille. The Canadian one.
Yeah.
But maybe Lucas is on his way out.
I would have liked to have got that Isaac, but
Newcastle got him.
Newcastle got him.
Is he the is he the Swedish or Danish?
The Swedish guy. He plays
he was really good in the Euros. I remember.
Yeah. He hasn't even shown his true colours yet. When he gets going, he's going to be a sensation for them.
He scored a great goal in his first game. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's a fantastic striker, but he's got to, you've got to get used to it. The first year in the Premiership, even Modric, that wasn't his the first season. That wasn't his best season. It was the second and the third seasons were brilliant.
Well, I've noticed a lot about players like Modric, and for me, Modric is probably like top 5 best midfielders ever for me. I don't care what anyone says; he was class. And I'm grateful he played for Tottenham. But like Redknapp, when he came in, he played him as a number 10 in a 4-5-1, and then eventually he moved into the left, and then eventually he moved into the middle to play with Palacios because he found like a holding midfielder to play with. But eventually Modric got so good that he could play with anyone. He even made Genius look good. I remember Modric.
I know.
He was that good. He made Genius look good.
Remember that 4-4 at
yeah.
Was it at the Emirates? Or
the Emirates,
I can't remember. Was it at Highbury that match?
It was at Emirates.
The Emirates. It was at the Emirates,
Harry Redknapp's
and I remember the fans jumping on Aaron Lennon. All the Spurs fans coming on and jumping on him. And he didn't care, did he?
It was one of my favourite derbies, actually. Because I gave up a 4-2. My older brother watching at home, and he was like, "I'm going," and then Gina scored. It was 4-3, and he was like, "I'm staying now," and then we scored a goal in the last minute. This is like
I never understand fans that leave before the end.
Yeah, I don't
understand it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I've never left a game in my entire
I have to confess,
life.
I have to confess,
Win,
the
lose
one
or
game I
draw.
left, the one game I left at the new stadium was when we were losing like 6-2 to Bayern. I couldn't watch anymore. That was
Oh.
painful. And
I
then by the
always
time
say
I,
to
by the
them,
time I got
because I
to the
want to
car, it was
clap the
8-2.
team.
So
I want to clap the team, win, lose or draw, because they're playing for our club. You know,
but it's just, I
even
can
if I
understand
think
why people
the
leave when we're
players not
losing.
played too well, I still clap.
But at the same time, I can understand why people left. I left at 6-2 during that game because it was just horrible to watch. Like, we were getting torn apart by Bayern. Nabry was destroying us, I remember that day. And I just couldn't watch anymore. I was like, I need to go. Like, we all just left because we just like couldn't watch it anymore.
See, when
It
you're
was also
at
like,
home watching it, you can switch the TV off if you want, but I don't. I mean, I watch it.
I still watch
You
it.
have to get your frustrations out.
I hate to bring this up, but you know when we lost there, was it 3-1 last season under Nuno?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it 3-1 or 4-1?
We lost 3-1 at their ground, yeah.
So, like, I remember that game, I completely gave up on it, but I still watched the rest of the game. It's just I spent most of the time on Twitter. Instead, during the game, I was just tweeting most of the time because I was like, I didn't want to watch it because it was so bad. I was still watching it and like there, but it was just so bad. Like, I had no confidence in Nuno to get a result that day.
I know.
Especially like with what he came out with in that morning.
I know, and he just stood on the sidelines with his arms crossed,
just
like he didn't give a monkeys. No direction, no shouting, just stand there like a lemon with his arms crossed. Now that's not a true Spurs
manager,
you know. You imagine Conte? He would never do that. He's like so animated. He gets involved with everything we do, every pass. He's living it. You know, he's a proper football man. You know, he's passionate. I love him. I always sing his name. I always try and start it off as well. Antonio, like that.
Antonio.
You know, because he deserves it because of all the effort that he puts in prior. And when the match starts from the
energy,
his energy, he's on it.
Yeah, his energy is completely different. He just throws everything.
Amazing. Yeah. I wonder what his wife thinks when he gets home because I can't see him coming down. You know, that elation.
But I think isn't his wife?
I think we're unbeaten since April.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of at Spurs. All right, we lost the Sporting CP, but that was a bit last 2 minutes, you know.
I don't remember that
disaster.
Game. I don't remember that game.
Yeah, we played crap that game.
And Emerson had all the chances.
There wasn't one player who could come off that pitch and said he had a good game.
Emerson. We missed all the chances. It's like...
Marcus Edwards was our best player.
Yeah, and he's another one who he's half Greek Cypriot, you know.
Yeah.
So I knew his agent. I don't know if he still has the same agent, but I knew his agent a few years ago. He's Greek Cypriot.
Because he had a bit of a bad reputation, I heard.
Yeah.
My brother told me that he was a bit of a party boy and his attitude and turning up late for training and
Poch didn't like
the
it.
Right work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't know 100% what goes behind closed doors. You know, only the manager and the players know that because they see these players day in, day out. And if they, there must be a reason why we sold him because he was being classed as the new Messi by Poch.
It's attitude. That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if he's sorted that out now because he's matured, you know, young men, they can be a bit like taken with the money, you know, and the fame. Everywhere they go, they're lauded. They're like put on a pedestal. Footballers, they're like gods.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be even at the top of your game to be treated like a god. You know, you could be like not an average.
I have to admit, I'm a bit of a party boy, as I like to say.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you
not as much now.
Professional footballer, you probably would have given that up for the love of your
exactly.
Sport. It depends how much you love football. You know, if it's in your heart and your soul.
If I was playing professionally, obviously it's a bit different. But you know, like you know when Mourinho called him Dele Alli and called him a party boy and stuff, I was like, but the geezer's like, if he was a normal person at 21, 20, how old was he? Like 24, 20. You could understand why he was like a party boy, but the fact that he was playing professional football and his form as well wasn't good, so he looked even worse. yeah, like
I know.
if his form was good and he was just taking like a little holiday or something, went a couple
Yeah, but
parties,
you
that's
saw.
fine. But like if his performances were so bad, he had no excuse
Yeah.
to be doing it. If that makes sense. Like
You
people,
saw in the documentary, the Amazon documentary,
yeah,
when Mourinho was giving Dele Alli some really good advice.
yeah, I remember
He
watching
said,
that.
"Bada bing, bada bong, your career's gone." You know,
56. He says
just
yesterday
like
I
that.
was
You know,
20.
you wake
Today
up
I'm
one day
56.
and your career's finished. So take advantage. You know, but he didn't heed it. He actually went more the other way, Dele Alli. You know, and then when he was dropped, he just couldn't handle it. You know.
No, because he
He's
started off
like
quite
a
well for
spoilt
5
brat,
games,
you
didn't
know,
he?
like, yeah.
He started off well for 5 games, and then he just dropped off after that.
Yeah, I don't think he just thought with Poch, he was in the team every single week. And he was the star boy under Poch. That first
Which he
season,
was, wasn't he?
he lit up the Premiership, didn't he? He
When he
scored the
burst
first
through, yeah.
50 goals, the fastest 50 goals, Dele Alli. And then it just went AWOL after that Champions League final, because in the semi-final, he played fantastic, Dele Alli.
He got the assist, didn't he, I think?
Yeah, and he was all over the place. And then he had that shot which the goalie saved, which Ericsson found him round the back. And he saved it.
For me, I think it started even before. For me, though, I think it started even before that. I think, like, you know, he started doing
it was before that, but I'm just saying that
contracts. The boohoo
that
contracts.
game set the precedence for how his career was going to go, because he was on a low trajectory after we got knocked out of the Champions League.
But like, you know, there's a lot of players like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm thankful we don't have him playing
just
for
came in. She just wanted to grab something. This is her bedroom, you see.
Yeah.
I'll go crash the bedroom.
Yeah. But like, so
she's got
like
the best room in the house.
But look on to Saturday in general. Like, how do you see the game going? As in, do you see us?
I said we're going to win it 3-1, and the reasoning behind that is that I think we've just got too much firepower for them, and on the back of that 6-2 victory, we'll be flying high, and we're out to prove a point, because a lot of people are giving us no chance to go there.
It's
a
true.
lot of neutral fans, they're saying Arsenal, 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 Arsenal. But I think there's going to be a shock. Yeah,
I hope so.
It will be a shock if we beat them.
Yeah.
Because we haven't beaten them for yonks.
Yeah.
At their ground, you know.
I'd take a draw right now. Honestly, I'll take a draw right now. Just to, if you gave me a draw right now,
I don't want to think a draw, because if a draw, I would take a draw. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I would take a draw, but I would be disappointed as well to get a draw, because then they'll still be top of the league and they'll still be crowing until Man City play, obviously, because Man City are going to blow whoever they play away.
We're going to have to really park the bus when we play them.
Yeah, Man City have 2 bad games a season and they lose them. Yeah, luckily we made 2 or 3. I would say 2 or 3 max really bad games. But even against us, that wasn't a bad game for them. The first game was pretty average.
But they drew against Newcastle, right? 3-3, didn't they?
They brought him on in the first game.
They drew against Newcastle 3-3, didn't they? I think.
Yeah. I think they didn't play particularly well in that one to their standard. That's what I mean. But yeah, if you catch them on a bad day, you've got a chance.
Because when we beat them, I felt like we didn't have much of the ball at all, but we just hit them, and that's what
we didn't have much of the ball. But when we did have it,
clinical,
we were effective.
Yeah. Like Kulusevski wasn't like that game. I had my doubts about Kulusevski till that game, really, and then he started, and he was literally like the best player.
Proved himself. He became a man in that game.
Honestly, I have to admit, like, I don't care what people say, because I felt like this way. When he came on his first few games, I was like, oh no, this is going to be another Lamella. I was like, so worried. I was like, this guy he looks slow, he looks this. And then after he started the City game, I was like, okay, this guy's a player.
He's got a deceptive turn of pace as well, Kulu. And I'll tell you another player, I was really shocked against Fulham, right, when I saw Bentancur. Bloody hell, he's fast, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he ran from the edge of our box and he skinned 2 players and he was off. And I thought, bloody hell, Bentancur, because you don't normally see him do that. You sort of see him do a brilliant bit of skill and there's pivot and swerve, and he's off, isn't he? And then he'll do a nice pass.
I feel like, we're talking about the City game, right? I feel like that's the way we have to, if we're going to win the game, it'll be in that sort of manner of attacks, directness. And like I was trying to relate to what happened yesterday when I played football, but it was the whole like 1, 2, 3, and we're in. It has to be something like that. We have to be very direct, and these like cloth fill passes or long balls or whatever, or like a Perisic cross has to be like, all pinpoint. Yeah. That's why Kulusevski is like really important. If he's missing, I think like we'll miss that. Because his delivery is just 100%. His delivery is so good.
But we have to adapt. Every great team has to adapt when they lose a star player. You know, you've got to make sure that the game plan goes to plan, and also if it doesn't go to plan, how you adapt to it. You know,
I think that's why we were crying out for like a creative player, because for me, Kane is creative, but he's more. Conte wants him more as a striker, and Kulusevski's for me the most creative player we have. And when he's missing, for example, if he's missing on Saturday, it's all going to have to come from Kane, really, because we don't have anyone else.
Do you know what though? Do you know Sonny? He's got a lot of assists in his career. Right? He's got more than Kane, I think, if I'm right. Because I was watching Will Stewart's show, I think. He showed how many assists Sonny has got. I think he's got 58 assists.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
People don't see that because Sonny's one of these players. He goes under the radar because you're just expecting him to do a worldie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you remember him for. But he really does assist a lot.
Because I see Sonny as a player who's on the end of things rather than like for example, Kane and Son, for me, like they have to start against Arsenal because they're the two most likely goal scorers for us, I think, on Saturday.
Yeah.
If we're going to score a goal, it'll come from Kane or Son. Kane or score a penalty.
We might see some unlikely scorers as well because Dyer's chipping in. He's got 2. Højbjerg's got 2. Bentancur's got 1. I like when the other players start scoring as well.
I think Romero's probably due a goal though.
Score. I think Romero's due a goal. Really like to score. It's Basuma if he's on.
Yeah.
I'd really love it because I think he'll go crazy if he scores.
I think if like Richarlison scored though, he would literally just do something really stupid.
If Richarlison scores, he's going to go crazy. And
he's going to dive
into the crowd.
We're like shush all the Arsenal fans or something like that.
like Van der Vaart did that.
Yeah.
I love that.
For me, Van der Vaart is like one of my favourite ever Spurs players ever. Rafa was brilliant, man. He loves to play against Arsenal. I'd love to have him.
Yeah, Van der Vaart, he loved it. He loved the North London derby because he knew what it was all about. Because he was a guy that talked to the fans, and he had forums where you could go and meet him and have a chat with him.
My brother met him actually. I think like once.
He was such a personable guy. You know. My daughters fancied him.
I mean, there's no surprise, but
yeah.
But I know girls who fancy Lloris, to be honest.
Yeah, Lloris. My daughter Angela likes him. But he's married, isn't he? So
yeah.
You know, I just recently came back from Nice, right? Because I went to the south of France. We went to Nice, and that's where Lloris was born. So I was really chuffed that I was in Lloris country.
It's like for me,
it's so nice over there, Harry.
I was sad that Reguilon got loaned out because his girlfriend's like really pretty as well. So I was like,
I know. Yeah. And Lucas Moura's wife.
Yeah. It's like we came out
about it on quite a few streams about Lucas Moura's wife.
Yeah. I saw that actually. Because I was on someone's stream, we were talking about that, and I said Reguilon's girlfriend, because Reguilon's girlfriend is literally like.
What's wrong with Lucas? He hasn't been around for ages now.
He's injured.
What injury did he hasn't played to get an injury? He must have done it in training.
Yeah. He got injured in training last time I heard.
Probably Romero did him, innit?
I don't remember who told me who it was, but it might have even been Højbjerg. I don't even know. But people were claiming Emerson was the one who injured Romero. I don't know how true that was, though, to be honest with you.
Maybe.
But I think Emerson just gets blamed for everything nowadays.
Yeah. The thing is, Emerson does do some good things. It's just
Yeah.
he gets
I just
remembered
don't
for
think
all
he's
the
the
bad
player.
things that he
He's
does.
just not the answer for right
He's,
wing back.
do you know
I don't
what? He
think.
stepped up against Liverpool away last season, and the
Mm.
last 3 or 4 games he stepped up. But against Liverpool, I was very impressed with him
He
because
played. That was
first
one of
of
his
all, his
best games,
defending
wasn't it?
was
I
really
think.
good,
Yeah.
and second, he was given this free role. He was like everywhere. He was in the middle, on the front, on the back. He was just. It was like he was like a man possessed. He just wanted to prove people wrong, But we can get better than him. Everybody
But like for
knows
me with
that.
Emerson, the things that are missing for me is like the dynamism. I don't think he has the dynamism for it. He doesn't play wide enough. Like he comes inside a
Yeah,
lot, and his delivery is really bad. And that's like 3 really important things for a wing back.
yeah.
So you can't like he's like a handicap really in some ways. Then
I
obviously I
know.
know his defending's improved, but it's like we need a proper player there, and we don't have one.
Yeah.
I'd even
Well,
play
we've got
Lucas
Jed
there, but
Spence, but it don't look like
he won't play
Conte
him.
fancies him.
Well, because Conte
Yeah.
didn't want him, so I don't know why people keep saying let's play Jed Spence because he won't
Uh,
play him.
he said what he said in the statement. He said it's one for the club, and he didn't say no to him, but obviously he's not playing him, so it's not his player who he chose.
Because most of
And
the
you
other
know what?
streams I watch, they were like play Jed Spence, but I don't think he'll
I
play
know
him.
everybody's
Yeah,
saying it.
but I don't think he'll play him.
Yeah. Well,
Because
we'll
he's a
see.
club.
We'll see if Conte buckles to the fans,
I think it's you know
pressure.
what it is. I think it's because it's a club signing and he didn't really want him. He's not outright say that, but it's politics. Because if
Yeah,
if he plays Spence, I think in the Premier League, especially,
I know.
Levy will be like, "Oh no, I can just give him anyone now, and he'll play him."
Yeah,
If that makes sense, that's how I see it. There's a bit
yeah.
of politics,
But
I think.
I don't think he'll let us down in the North London
I,
derby because when he played,
mm,
he played he played Sanchez and he played Emerson. Romero was missing because of injury, wasn't
yeah,
he?
yeah.
And we still won the game 3-0. All right, they
I'd
got a
rather see
player sent
Tanganga
off,
though
but we would have
than
beaten them
Sanchez.
anyway.
I'd rather see Tanganga than Sanchez personally.
Yeah, I like Tanganga. He gets a bad rap from the fans.
I
Really
like
gets a
him.
bad like they're making out that he's not good, but he's had a couple of injuries that set him back. But he's making the bench, so there must be something now,
Because he was meant to be
Big and
loaned out to
strong as well.
Milan, I think, but they didn't want to sell him or something, and so they didn't
I,
agree.
I've heard that Yaya Toure, and this is like inside information from the club, Yaya Toure and Ledley King are really working well with Tanganga.
Really, because I think there's a player
build
there
his
personally.
strength so he doesn't get up, pick up a hamstring or the hip injury or the knee injury. He's got a bad back as well. Apparently,
Really?
back
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they're working on strengthening his body because really he wasn't even a man, He looked like a man, but he wasn't of that. He was just coming into manhood. So it takes time. I think by 23, 24, even 25, from 23 to 25, players improve so much in terms of their strength on the ball
Is
and
he
off the ball,
22?
reading
Is he
the game.
22? How old
I
is he?
think
Is he
he's
20?
22, Tanganga.
Yeah.
So he's still got a couple of more years to develop.
Yeah.
But
But for
needs
me, there's a
game
player
time.
there. There's a player there. So
There is a player there.
Yeah.
We saw it against Liverpool on his debut. He hasn't just gone completely left wing, has he?
See, I'm going to say something quite controversial here. I'd rather see Davies play a left centre back on Saturday than Longley because we're going to have less of the ball.
Yeah, but Davies is injured, isn't he?
Is he? Oh, Longley will have to play then. Oh, okay.
I prefer Longley.
See, I
prefer Longley because he's
I prefer
more
Longley
cultured
as
on the
well.
ball.
I prefer
And his
Longley in
passing's
general.
better.
Yeah, I prefer Longley as well in general as well. But I think in some games like Liverpool's, the Arsenal's, the Chelsea's, like I would play Davies because we have less of the ball.
Davies.
Because we have
I
less of the
agree with
ball.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got more experience, but I like Longley as a footballer more because he's a better footballer.
No.
Better all-round footballer than Davies.
Yeah.
I
mentioned Davies. No. So before we finish up,
no Davies.
So before we finish up, I just want to get a prediction for your score, and if you want to give me some goal scorers.
I said 3-1.
3-1. Yeah.
I'd say Kane, Richarlison, and my man Højbjerg. Come on,
All
Højbjerg.
right. For me,
I've
I'm
got to
saying
give him a goal.
I think it'll be 2-2, and I think Kane
And
will
I
get a
think,
penalty, and I think Son will get the other goal. And I think
yeah,
it'll be
I think we
Jesus.
might get a penalty actually.
I
Yeah.
think Jesus will be the other. Jesus will score one goal, and I'm putting money on. I'll play someone like Odegaard or someone to score the second for them, and I think we'll equalise. I think we'll equalise.
I think Odegaard is maybe injured.
Is
I'm
he?
not sure.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, you know what? Arsenal are really crafty like that. They'll say there's an injury
Oh,
and
he'll
then
play.
suddenly he's fit.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't want us to know their formation or who's playing. Either way, I think we'll beat them 3-1. Come on, Spurs. Come on,
you Spurs.
Thanks
for coming on again, Elly. Because I think it's almost 8 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah. So it's been great having you on, and I'm sure I'll have you on again next week.
Yeah, before I go, I just want to give a little plug to my channel.
Sure, yeah.
So we've got Mickey Hazard coming on. He was supposed to come on tomorrow, but he's got a big, I think he's got something to do with charity. He's going to do something for charity. I'll find out when I get off the stream. But Dermot was sort of telling me temporarily that he can't make tomorrow, but he's coming on Monday. So that's a big one to watch out for. Yeah, so Mickey Hazard, and then tomorrow we're going to do a watch along of the 1984 UEFA Cup victory. So that's a very good one to tune into, because Graham Roberts, and as you know, I'm not sure if you know this, but Steve Perriman was sidelined for that match, our club captain. Yeah. And Graham Roberts took up the role, and then
my dad loves Graham Roberts. He actually loves Graham Roberts. Yeah. We met him actually last year sometime. Yeah. Even though he has been blocked on Twitter.
We're trying to work on a few players coming on our channel, so it's a work in progress, but we'll get a few more on. I know Steve Perriman, we've approached him, and he said after the World Cup. So
he has a podcast, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a podcast.
Yeah, I think he follows. I think he follows me on Twitter. I'll message him then. He follows me on Twitter, I think. So yeah.
Message him on there. He's very personable, and he'll get back to you.
And what I'll do, I'll try and get my dad to come on that stream as well, because he knows more about that than I do. So I don't have any idea. Do you know what I mean?
I would say your dad's in his late 40s, yeah? Maybe
no,
early 50s.
My dad's in his 70s.
Is he? Oh, my God. Right, because you look young. You're a young guy, though, aren't you? So did your dad have you later on in life?
Yeah, because my dad was married before, and then he divorced, and a few years and years later, he married again. And he had him at like 45 or something, 42 or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
44, 45, something like that, I think.
Yeah. So he decided that he wanted to have a boy, innit?
No, he already had, from his first marriage, he had, people like Brian Daigle will know these people, by the way. So he had like a son and 2 daughters, and his 2 daughters actually friends with Brian Daigle. They know Brian Daigle, actually, yeah. And then I have a little brother as well.
I know Brian Daigle.
Yeah, they went to school with him, so yeah. But so my dad started supporting Spurs. If you watch, I've got an old video where I interviewed him about his how he became a Spurs fan and that sort of thing. He watched Spurs beat Olympiacos or Panathinaikos, I can't remember which team off the top of my head, in Greece. He was working in Greece at the time, and then he was like, "Oh, this team, they're really good," blah blah blah. And then he went to London for work. And then his company, they got company tickets, and then eventually got his own tickets, and then so he's been supporting Spurs for like 30, 40 years, and he's had season ticket for at least 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my brother Sodiri, he's
maybe
got a season ticket in area 257 in the South Stand, and when last year he couldn't go because his doctor said he couldn't go because he was in remission he had prostate cancer. And we were really worried for him at a time, but he had this big operation and everything went well, and he's clear now. So he started going this season. So I'm not getting his ticket. So I've got to pay for my own tickets now. You know what? They've approached me for a season ticket. So
Have they?
I buy one because I'm 60 in a couple of months. I'm going to ask my family to get me it.
You're the same age as my mum, actually. She's 60 in a couple of months.
I'm coming up 28th of November. I'll turn 60. So my family, I'm going to drop it on them near the time.
Buy me a season ticket.
Can you get me a season ticket? Because after the World Cup, that's when it hots up.
Yeah.
It's not worth. I'm going to go to most. I'd say 95% of the matches There'll be one or two I might not go to, but I'm going to go to a lot of them.
I normally miss about like one game a year. I think I miss like one game sometimes a year.
Yeah,
maybe just because of something happens or someone. Do you know what I mean?
I bought my Eintracht Frankfurt one, and I've bought my Everton one already. I've got those already. But the Eintracht Frankfurt one, they said they're delaying it to send it out to people for some reason.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it is, but I phoned One Hotspur membership, and I spoke to my friend Kay. So she said they're delaying it because usually you get it straight onto your wallet, don't you?
Yeah, it goes Apple Wallet. Yeah. I get I have to go on my account.
You reckon it's going to be a draw on Saturday? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we might win. I don't know, but I'd want us to win. But I hate watching this game. It's horrible most of the time.
Yeah.
Like the away game, I feel was worse. The home game, I feel a lot better about.
Yeah.
But the away game's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, let's have some faith. Come on, you Spurs.
And come on, you Spurs. Okay, let's end the broadcast there.